BlowTorch. I gotta be honest, I like the character, but to me he was a bit useless. Torches are cool, but unless there's zombies or garbage to burn, how often are you gonna need it? That's just me. And of course, here is the figure of the hour, the G.Joe classified series BlowTorch. The suit doesn't look as bright as the vintage one does. The vintage one is more bright and more vibrant. This one's a little dull, but let's get him out and take a look at him. Well, here he is. Not a bad looking figure. His suit isn't as bright and vibrant as the vintage, but it works, and honestly, I'm probably overthinking things. Why on earth would you want a bright red and yellow suit while you're fighting anyways? I mean, you want to be as much concealed as possible. But I'm going to say I kind of like the dull color better. Not really sure what those silver circles, those silver discs are. The only problem I have with this figure is the mask. I just feel over time if you keep putting it on him, eventually that strap's gonna break. It was also a pain in the rear trying to line up the goggles with his eyes. I mean, I had to fight it. But those are the only problems I had, so now let's take a look at the vintage. Here he is, Mr. O-Ring BlowTorch. And just like I said, his suit is more of a bright red, bright yellow. Very vibrant. We're all familiar with these vintage Joes. Very basic, very simple. Not much to them, but they were a whole lot of fun back then. You sure you want to wear that suit to battle? What's wrong with my suit?
A few moments later.
Here is the vintage one all geared up. The only thing I don't like about the vintage is the hose to the torch. It's very notorious for breaking. They could have given us the flexible little black tube, kind of like what the Televipers have. Because the hose on this torch, it's not flexible. And here is the classified and the vintage side by side. As far as scale, of course, obviously the classified is bigger. Of course, the vintage is more brighter, more vibrant. On the classified, the colors are more subtle. But as I said before, I think it works. Modern would always be detailed, and of course, there's a difference in the mask, obviously. And again, the only problem I had with this mask was what I had stated earlier. Vintage is more basic, more simple, no detail at all. I think they could at least painted the lens black. That simple touch would have made it a whole lot better. Modern will always be better in terms of details, articulation, and accessories. And these figures, they really look good. They really do. He looks good all geared up. Your vintage basic details, basic accessories, basic articulation, just simple overall. Of course, the detail being more cartoony than anything, but still great. All right, amigos, you tell me which is better, modern or vintage. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, get a hobby, and live life.